What is going on, guys? Me and the chickens say hello. I am, of course, missing. You are the wonderful millions. And this is the wonderful game of Urbek City Builder. So we were doing a wonderful Path of Leisure playthrough that got, only a little erased. I don't really know how. But we're just gonna restart. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I think I'm gonna keep playing on temperate. I'm gonna keep trying to make a lot of content on this game. Not on easy, but on temperate, on basic settings this time though. Medium-sized map, just as standard as can be, so that you guys get the basics of this, because this is gonna be kind of a tutorial guide on how to easiest way to start. I've actually learned something since the last time we started anyhow. I think I'm gonna do this in like a three-parter. So I have a start, mid-game, an in-game finishing of doing the Path of Leisure. So, sorry, I just ate a protein bar. It's got a lot of things that like to choke me to death. Lazy bones, Path of Leisure. So I'm leaving everything basically standard: river, coastal, map size medium. I like giant maps, but I'm gonna go medium since that turns difficulty to 100%. Play. Let's go. I really like this game, although I will say that I got a Steam Deck and it is rated to work really well on Steam Deck, and not necessarily my experience. I think it works okay. I also maybe just aren't I used to Steam Deck that much. So there's a couple things you can do when you're starting your city out. Houses need to be within 3 tiles of roads. So you can do the thing of like building your roads 8 and then going up 7, coming across 7, and building like a 6x6 kind of, and doing like a grid city. So keeping going, doing this, not that way, but kind of ending up with this grid of city, if you will, like so. So when you get to the higher tier houses though, it needs a set number of homes within a certain range or a certain distance of each house. It needs a certain number of like residential buildings, or a certain number of, basically it needs a certain number of houses. So what I have found to be the best, and I'm going down here by the river so we can put in fishing huts later. To me personally, is to actually just kind of cheeky it. And this does lower your total, like, try not to destroy too much of the forest since wood's going to be a thing, is if you just go up 7 and you come across and you end up with a 6 by 6, like 6 wide, like 6 deep, if you will, which we can destroy this and come up even and follow the same path as the river road down here. Which actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to keep it all straight, come all the way across. So for the most part, this side over here, down here towards the bottom, it's going to be all of our city. This will be our city face up here. This side, I'm going to be doing agriculture, mining, and whatnot. Probably have some wood forestry up in here. Forestry probably up in here. Forestry probably will be throughout here too. But as long as you're keeping it within that distance of the road, you're good. So that is going to be our starting city block. And this also lets them share resources a little bit better too, by not having that road cutting in between. I know it doesn't probably look as good to most people, but it really helps with the cheekiness. of just kind of making it work. In the long run, it helps resource sharing quite a bit. So I'm going to start agriculture up towards the top. There's a lot less things to work around. And I do my agriculture blocks 10 wide, like 10 by 10s. So that should be a 10 by 10. It is not. So it needs to go down one more. I never claimed to be a good counter. Now it should be a 10 by 10. Sure is. Alright, so just gonna put a row of fields in there. Can't put them in desert, that's fine. Didn't really realize that was desert. I don't know how I didn't realize that was desert, but I didn't. So now we do the wonderful back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I need to turn off my clock because I have an alarm going off. Let me know I need to do things. Be an adult. Alright, so yeah, this is kind of just going to become the ultimate back and forth of doing this. Tediumness. So I'm going to cut here, but one thing I've learned before I do cut, I may not even end up cutting, may just end up going back and forth, we'll see, is that if you go here, it shows you how to get to each path. Path of Wealth doesn't have any rewards yet, but Path of Leisure, you just need 20 green areas. Path of Productivity has 500 work, 90 wood, and 50 energy production. So for green areas, though, you need parks unlocked, which takes some population. So we can't quite get there yet. So you kind of just keep going back and forth until you unlock parks. And building in food, putting in, once you unlock them, some farmhouses, which takes population as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut and I'll be back. Oh, don't forget wood, like I do sometimes. Wood is a necessity. So right here, lumber camp. Don't build it like right on the river, but right about there. Come up and slap in another one. But I don't have enough houses. But yeah, just lumber camps. And if you are very, very new to this game, if you're looking at, say, like lumber camps right here, cost of 5 work, that just takes houses to build. The more houses you build, you have your resources up here on the top right. Work, you build houses, it produces work. Building farms produces food, which lets you build houses. Houses require food, generally speaking. And then wood, you get from right here in industry, lumber camp. I'm not quite used to explaining all the finite details of games, but yeah, so lumber camp is under that, and it produces wood. These show you what it costs 5 work, produces 15 wood, it stores 500 work, but it constantly consumes 20. So if you look up here, I currently have 345 work, but I am only getting plus 5 work per like cycle, if you will. So it'll consume that work permanently. So it costs that work to build initially, which is this left side, but it consumes it permanently, which is the right side, the plus, how often you're getting that per cycle. So it's basically going to think of 2 different versions of resources, how often you're getting it in and how often, like how much you have total. If I'm being honest, it's pretty rare that the total amount that you have at one time is a thing that you have to pay attention to. There's only a couple times I've ever had that be the issue. In the early game, you kind of have to wait for that to fill up, yes, but more often than not, what you're running into is that you don't have enough permanent work or permanent food or something like that. And the other thing you have to pay attention to is when you're building these is their needs. So no farmhouse and 5 radius. So if you're looking, 5 radius would be the big orange circle. And then needs 12 or more farms and 3 radius. So the 3 radius would be the little blue circle. So it could go here, it just needs more farms. So we can put down another rows of farms. A couple more rows of farms, and then it should be able to go right there. And if you're on PC, which this game's only out on PC, but you might be playing on Steam Deck like I am sometimes, hold Alt, and it lets you override anything, and then you just double check and make sure that everything's still working well. Farmhouses really help keep the food going. But yeah, so, and even houses actually still, they cost 50 labor, they take 10 wood. The only thing they consume permanently is 10 food, but houses will upgrade on you. As you go through the game, houses will continually upgrade. You want them to upgrade, otherwise your city's going to be nothing. I mean, you can't really progress too far into the game without getting your houses upgraded. Because upgraded houses produce types of work that normal houses don't, that you have to have. So you can just see that our population crossed a threshold. We unlocked new things. So neighborhood council, we have to get a 700 population and a grain silo to unlock that. Which we 500 population right now. Lumberjack cabin. We need another farmhouse to unlock that. That'll unlock power for us. And park, we have to get to 700 population. Park is our green area. So knowing that looking in this, wood production and energy production is two of the things to get to path of productivity. We don't want to get to that. We're wanting to go to the path of leisure. So let's not even focus on building up electricity yet. Let's just put in more houses. We aren't going to put in electricity until we have already claimed the path of leisure. Because electricity is going to be a necessity to get these houses to upgrade. So we're just going to keep putting in houses. And we have negative food now, so those houses aren't going to want to build. We're going to put in more farmhouses. Farmhouses are better than farm tiles. Village house and lumberjack cabin unlocked. Very good. We're still negative in food. Those houses, as you put in food and the houses can spring up, they will spring up. So your food will go in the negative as you put in, like, as you put in more food, your food will go into the negative, which is fine. Which is fine. Just kind of pay attention to it and keep putting in more food. And we unlocked the grain silo, which on its own produces 200 food and it stores 200 food, so it is actually still worth building. A lot of the times when I thought of the grain silo at first when I started playing this game, I was like, why would I care about having a grain silo if all it's going to do is store food for me? It doesn't. It actually produces food. And an upgraded version of it produces a fair amount of food. Not a huge amount, but a fair amount. So we only put in those three for now, which is fine. Have we unlocked? We have. We've unlocked parks, which will let us get started on our path of leisure, which is 20 green areas. Each park is one green area, so we're gonna need a lot of parks. Now we can put in a neighborhood council, which should parks produce 10 food and consume 5 unskilled labor. And let's see, there should be, I'm trying to find, markets and parks are a really good one for this play mode. Common gardens is a good one that we're going to activate. We're starting out on this play mode. Common gardens means that the parks now produce food. See, each of them now produces food. So I'm gonna say every about 5, we're gonna put down a park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaving 5 in between each, I guess is the way I should say this. We're gonna put them alongside the roads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Parks do use labor, so that is one downside to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We need nice parks. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Boop. Boop. And now we can just kind of follow down from the ones that we already built. And now we do have the nice park unlocked, which does 2 green areas. So I'm going to replace the standard ones with these ones. We don't want, we're okay with both, but there's no point in having the standard park and not having the nice park. There we go. Path of leisure. So now we can start putting in our electricity and stuff and getting these houses upgraded a little bit. And lumberjack cabin is the simplest way to do that. So I'm gonna put a lumberjack cabin here. We want watermill ultimately. I'm gonna put another lumber camp down this way. I'm trying not to destroy any of these lumber camps. So lumberjack house is the upgrade to lumberjack cabin, which is good. We're unlocking so many things. So what I usually do to upgrade these personally is I usually put mansions around them. But those aren't going to unlock the mansions yet, but that's fine. I think they'll unlock the villas. Yeah. They're villas. Again, peanut in the throat. We unlocked the watermill, which is awesome. We also know that our houses are upgrading over there right now because we just put in power, which is good, but also, because keep an eye on your stuff up there whenever you're upgrading houses, because different houses have different needs and different intakes, so upgrading sometimes actually uses more of your resources and can cause you to go into the negatives quite hard. So we unlocked a lot of things, so let's look through here real quick. So tenant farmers, very unhappy people. So they add population, adding lower happiness to your population. So these have 5 happiness, so adding lower happiness like that does decrease your overall happiness, if that makes any sense what I'm saying. So there's that. But they do make a lot of food, so they're kind of worth it to me. Watermills are really good for power in the early game since they consume wood, which you really don't have to worry too much about wood throughout the game. But they just don't produce enough power to keep up later in the game. And then we unlocked some more parks. We are working on unlocking the village bar, and we unlocked the football pitch, which we can throw down the football pitch right here next to our parks. And we don't want to throw down so many that it is like, yeah, so it'll actually work out if we do it every other park. So we're actually negative in work. That's fine. So yeah, every other park it looks like will work out with a football pitch. We're negative in work. We're okay in food still. So you gotta be careful. You run out of work a lot trying to follow the path of leisure. And we unlock the dock. So we'll fill this up with docks once we like on the next cycle of food, I guess, is the way I'm gonna word this. I'm just putting lumber camps in there so they'll farm down some of those trees so we don't just run out of trees really fast over here. So saying that wood's not huge is true, but also if you farm all of your wood in one spot and your wood's very low income, they'll farm all that wood real quick sometimes. So you do want to keep your wood pretty high in the positives to make sure that they don't just over farm it. Is the best advice I have for you. Is this a house? This both wooden huts right here? Okay, cool. Cool. So I'm just gonna keep putting in. So we have that whole block full of it, which is great. And also, if we're going to just add population, we can put on our docks now along this base and fill them in that way too. But now that we have, I think sports is one of our big things. So yeah, it's one of our big things. So we want to make sure that we're putting in a lot of sports. So every other park is about where I got to. And I think that's the last park I put in. We definitely want more and more parks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So right there. And we're still putting it in right there still. And at the very end, we're going to put it in 2. And we're unlocking more stuff, which is awesome. And that park has one. That park does not. So this park will want a football pitch. Why no building? Why no building? We are short on labor again. Which is fine. We unlocked the mini mart, which is really good. It does our next upgrades to houses. We don't have enough work for it, so we are going to build our next set of square. So we're going to go up by 7, because our block needs to be by 6, and then we can come across. Do that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and bulldoze the whole area. Now granted, you may want to be careful about trees if you feel like you're going to be using a lot of wood. But that just kind of comes with knowledge and experience. So I'm going to go there and do such. And I'm going to follow our path of our parks. And our football pitches, I'm just making the assumption we'll cover. Covers most of it, so I'm cool with it. We'll probably put like a tennis court over on the other side there to start using those. Green areas are going to be very important later game, so just keeping up with it now will really, really help you. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Like I said, work is a problem playing through the Path of Leisure. By my experience, maybe I do it wrong. I don't know, but I do play for late game early. I think that by doing it this way, you really save yourself later in the game. Once those houses started upgrading, we started to get good again anyhow. So our next upgrade requires the mini mart. The local market's fine, but it requires a food source nearby, so mini mart. Now, once we have the markets and parks, yeah, markets and parks, we may not even need this. Because the parks will count as markets once you have enough. So once we have enough parks in place, we should be good. But we need more food. Let's go ahead and go put in some more food. Yeah, we'll be ready to go ahead and put on our next block of food, I think. Actually, no, we have tenant farmers now. So tenant farmers, like I said, they do produce a lot of unhappiness. So you may not want to put them in. Following the Path of Leisure. I do. But I also take the thing to make them happier. I don't put in landlord's huts because landlords make them strictly unhappy. But there is a, what are those things called? I just did one. One of the policies to make the tenants not so unhappy. Farmhouse doesn't have enough farm tiles, so honestly kind of expected. 9. Rip. 10. 11, 12. We don't really care too much about the road back there. The roads really do not effectively matter. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but they don't. Like, they do and they don't. Like that road back there was never going to do anything for us. The cars were just going to turn around back there. They're just kind of rural roads. I don't know if these houses were actually on plots that mattered to that. No, they were not. We're going to keep filling. We know that that farmhouse is unhappy with us filling, but we're going to keep filling. Because we can fix that here in a minute. Because we are actually just going to come down here and we're just going to take out this entire back road. I kind of feel like there's no reason that shouldn't be. Oh, it's a desert. That makes some sense. That's 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where was the other one? There, I guess, yeah. Cool. So we're back pretty net positive in food. It's weird there's the deserts there and I keep getting thrown off by it. But yeah, destroying that road's gonna absolutely do nothing for us. Doesn't affect us anyway. I wish we could put a tin farmer right. Probably shouldn't. 15, 12, probably put a tin farmer right here. 14. Perfect. I'm just gonna count that as good. Counting that as good and moving on with my life. Can't suggest that enough sometimes. I really think that it's always a good idea. Count some things as good and move on. So we need more parks over here. So throw down a nice park, throw down a nice park. We do want these to upgrade to like wealthy suburb houses, one or more food service, one or more education. So yeah, we do have schools now. We want it to cover everything. So right there is where that's going to cover everything. But we need metal. We need that right there. So we get to learn a new thing. So iron mines. Iron mines are interesting. So I think there's a lot of ways to do an iron mine. And they require 3 distance to the road, so they kind of become a pain in the butt to set down. But here's the thing. So putting down an initial iron mine, you start getting iron. But you unlock the iron miner's house. So the iron mine only has to have contact to one of these iron nodes. So you could put down more iron mines than one around this collection of nodes. But it can't be within a 5 radius of like, or a radius of other iron mines. And also you don't want it to because other ones could put down other iron miners' homes. The thing about iron miners' homes is they have to be one from a road, but anywhere in this orange box you're seeing around that iron mine, we can now put down iron miners' homes. Well, missing, why does that matter? Well, let me tell you, kids. That matters because iron miners' homes produce iron themselves. I'm just cleaning up a bit, making it look a little nicer. So the iron mine produces iron itself. I'm making an outline, by the way, of the orange box so that I can build houses inside of that to the most like efficient way possible. And my memory is horrible, so I have to keep having to go back and back and back and back and back and back. All right. So the iron miners' houses themselves produce iron. So what does that mean? Well, that means that it's actually more efficient to produce more iron miners' houses than it is to care about the iron mine itself and how efficient it is. It's better just to have as many spaces as possible with range to an iron mine. Now see, this produces 5, but each one of these blocks is going to produce 1 that has an iron miner's house in it. And when they upgrade to iron miner's house tier 3, they produce even more. So yeah, as you can see, each one of these produce 1. So granted, they use a lot of power and electricity, but your goal here is to produce iron, so like you don't really care. So yeah, my goal is to get that within range of 1 node, and then once we need more later, we'll just put down another one up in here someplace what's in range of 1 node. With that being said, I am going to go ahead and come up through here and put down wood farming, lumber camps, so that these guys will have this forest probably somewhat depleted by the time we're going to be knocking down that forest. So now we have some iron coming in. We're short on labor, because we always are short on labor, because we're taking the path of leisure. Nobody wants to work in the path of leisure. Throw in some houses there. And we are good on these ones, so I don't have to throw anything in. We do need the school. And we want it to cover everything that it can. So there's that. Suburb house unlocked. Wealthy suburb house. So these are actually getting all the shopping and everything they need, I think, from the park. I mean, there is the market right here. But I don't think, like, this one... Yeah, this one's not in range of the market. So if I get rid of that market... doesn't have enough food service. So let's leave the mini mart in. I guess maybe we do need the mini marts, at least for a while. I don't know. I mean, you can see the line where the mini marts stop producing. Yeah. But you would think when I put the next Sparks line in that we'd be good. Maybe we'll see. Maybe further down we'll see. So these upgraded homes produce 14 workers and 2 skilled workers, which is awesome. We also need to bring up our road. And again, we're going to follow the coast of this way, which honestly, that road shouldn't be touching right there. We don't want it touching right there. So we're going to destroy it. We're going to go that way, because right there we can put a fisherman's hut later. If we want to... It seems like I'm being like really particular about following the coastline, and I am, because fisherman huts and stuff like that are really good. Like, they're really nice later on, since they don't really use a lot. They don't really require a lot. Like, they don't produce a lot of food, don't get me wrong. They're not extremely OP. It's just they're simple. They kind of they're self-sufficient to a degree. So they're just really nice to have. They're just kind of really nice to have. Why Star go away? My like star menu up there went away. I was trying to see how much sports and everything else we need. But it's just gone. I wonder if there's like a key I hit. Hotkeys? Pedestrian view, activate, deactivate minimap. Well, that's nice. Also not what I'm looking for. Let's see. No? Also not what I'm looking for. Rotate buildings, Urbekpedia. This is also very handy. But it only shows you things you've like unlocked. Before, I think? Maybe? I don't know. Hide UI. Nope, not hide UI. Not hiding UI. Show policies menu. Show achievement window. That has to be it, right? I mean, this is what I'm looking for. So we need building more sports. We need multi-sport court, which we haven't even unlocked yet. Multi-sport court. Multi-sport court, we need more sport. We need more sport for the multi-sport court. Which is fine. Once we get over here, we'll have more support. So we just kind of need to keep building in houses, I guess, which we need more food for. So back over here. We do not want landlord's house. This one we still need more farmhouses for. So I'm going out 11. And then I'm going to bulldoze the few trees that are over here. If my mouse wants to work. And then, cool. We're out of work. But we have everything we need now, as far as food goes, for a little bit, to build in some more houses. Which I'm fine with going out of work to build in more food. That was actually the plan. And now we're out of labor to build houses, which is always ironic to me. It's like, you need work to build work. Unfortunately, it does take work to build houses. People gotta work for it. Wouldn't that be a great world to live in, where you didn't have to, like, build your house? Just kind of, like, exists. Shelter is free. I'm sure that there's a contractor out there that's like, that would be horrible, man. I need my job. Don't joke, Missy. Coal mine unlocked. So, water mills just became completely inefficient. Alright, so work is shooting up because houses are upgrading. Throwing our parks. I want to throw in this park, but we need 300 work. And this park's also going to shoot us into the negative on labor. Which, oh well. Oh well. It's kind of part of this path. It's kind of part of this path to go into the negative on labor, to be honest. It's kind of the point to me. I mean, we could upgrade these houses down here, but I don't want to. We also need to see the range of the school. So we need to keep in mind that that range of the school right there, we need to build another school down there once we kind of get there. We want to make sure that everybody has range to education. Because, okay, so building the parks, later on in the game, you have to build skyscrapers, like green skyscrapers. So by having the parks in place now, it'll really help you get there. By like a lot. Like a lot. Like, it really helps you not have to destroy them, which then causes like other things to fail. You will still have to put in more parks and stuff later. These won't take care of that whole situation, but these are a big step in having it in place already, especially when you're upgrading these parks and stuff later on. They really help. And they also help with happiness in general. They help with green areas that you'll need for the path of leisure. Like, just, they're huge. They are huge. So we are kind of getting into what I would consider the middle of the game. Like, we've already started the path of leisure, which I do consider kind of the start of the path of leisure. The mid game is kind of the biggest chunk to me, which is kind of a lot of this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and just kind of unlocking new buildings. And then the ig game is just like Penantic nitpickery. Penantic nitpickery, which is like just making sure buildings upgrade right and making sure you don't just slam your resources down by upgrading buildings all of a sudden out of nowhere. Speaking of which, I just put those buildings in, and they're going to get replaced by a sports court. By a tennis court. That one is. That one is. These ones, I guess, are okay. Also, sometimes upgrading buildings isn't what you necessarily want. Multi-sports court. So sometimes... Was it V? No. Was it you? No. What was the thing? Show achievements in. I still want to know why that is gone. Okay, so we need 3 multi-sports courts. These are about the size of football stadiums. So I think I'm just going to put them in roughly where the football stadiums were. Oh, a tab flips things. Tab will flip things around. If you ever have something that you're like, I don't like the way that's positioned, tab. Tab, 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 tab. Tab, 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 tab. Alright, so we're right about the line of the school, right? School is right. Meh. We're not even close. Either way, I want to go ahead and put in our school. So that's where the next school's going to go. So we're negative on power now. I don't want to go ahead and do coal. Coal mine will take care of power for a really long time. So I think coal's going to go right here. Coal operates the same way as the iron? Iron does. So you kind of want to treat it the same. With the same idea of like, anywhere in that blue, you can build coal miners' houses. I built that road wrong. That road needs to go right there. We're going to actually get rid of that road, which we don't really need there now that we have this road in place. And that means that we can start putting in these roads. And you want to leave 2 spaces in between because they have to be 1 away from road. So all right. And then on the last line over here, I'm going to throw in the coal miner's house. Coal miner's house. Cool. And then for power, we can put in... We can't put in a coal plant. We need more labor for a coal plant. We don't need power for labor. We don't actually need power for labor. We can just throw in labor. We can just throw in work. Which I didn't realize we were running short on work at all. But I guess that we were building work and then we put in a school, which is going to use a lot of work. So now that I've thought about it, like, I don't know how I didn't realize that we were running short on work. I'm just special. I'm just special sometimes. I am in fast forward right now, so if you're like, man, it takes so long. Yeah. And I'm going faster than I should be. At least right now we're in the positives for work. That's really good. Staying in the positives for work is sometimes a struggle. Can we just throw in actually a water mill and take care of the electrical problem for just a moment? Not without building some roads up, which is a whole problem on its own. Okay, I think those roads are at least decent is the way I'm going to word this. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then houses upgrade, which did not take care of food. So, you win some, you lose some, and we lost some. So now we're back to the very, very fun stage of building farmhouses. Could you feel the sarcasm dripping from my voice? I could. Okay. And now the thing I just realized is that right here, there's probably gonna go grain silo. Right there. Cool. Well, the farmhouse can go up there probably. So and we'll put in the rest of our fields right there. And tenant farmers. The ones up towards the top are usually the first ones to get deleted. Shantytown, Rebel House. Oh no, not the rebels. Rebels are basically the ones who want to destroy a few. Your cup runneth over, and they want to spilleth the cup on you. Okay, that one will have to be replaced with a few. Okay. I do them in these rows. You can probably do them differently and make it better. I don't like to. I think this is about the best way, in my opinion, to do it. Again, I'm sure there's a better way. I just don't know it. But I think this is a very effective way of doing the towns or growing food. Anyhoozle, that gives us enough work, I think. Let's put in a coal plant. Aye. Aye. So I put the coal plant right next to where we have the coal. And that takes care of our power. Got a tenant farm abandoned. I kind of figured some of them were going to get abandoned. By the way, I built them. We just replaced those with farms. Go to. Cool. All right, and back to what we were doing. So I think we only have the one shopping. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of the shop again. We are just in delete mode. We are just in delete mode. I'm just chilling out in delete mode, deleting things. Okay, so that shop's definitely gonna need to be there. Yep, I get it. I hear your complaints and I apologize. I thoroughly do. But these ones down here are getting food service. And I don't think I built any more food service. So I'm guessing that the parks are taking care of food services. Which is good. Which is great. It just takes a lot of parks. Like, I think it takes the parks on both sides. And then some. So if I was to guess, if we build the park here and the park here, I bet these houses right here will upgrade. Oh, nope, sorry. Didn't mean to. No, one or more food services in area, and that still doesn't do it. Let's go into our policies tab, which is up here too. Why is this gone? Really need to find that back. Really need that back. Like... Policies is J. At least there's shortcuts for everything. Alright, so... One, we should improve tenant conditions for farmers. We do need to do that. That's going to increase our happiness quite a bit. And the next thing we need to do is markets in football pitches. Which will decrease their sports value, but I think that having them as markets will be worth it. Personally? Getting rid of markets in general. These are upgraded football pitch pluses, by the way, because we have them next to parks. In multi-sport courts. We need multi-sport courts. That's where we're at in life, is multi-sport courts. Which I'm going to pair up here. I'll probably put that up like right by the school. We probably can go ahead and put that in. 10 more steel. I don't even think we've started doing steel yet. I don't even know if we've unlocked steel yet. We have not unlocked steel yet. Okay. So steel is a combination of coal and iron. So I guess the only thing we can be doing right now is continuing to grow our population. And then we should put in our tennis court. There. I wonder if we have to have the parks down here. I wonder if that park is just kind of letting these ones upgrade better. I do bet kind of that that's what's happening. Suburb house, because this one's saying it has food service, and I know I didn't put any food service in. Sawmill unlocked. Sawmill, it would be okay if it wasn't for the fact that it consumes wood at an ungodly rate. By the way, if you haven't noticed, trees do grow back. Trees definitely grow back. Like right there. That tree had grown back. So if your sawmills and woodcutters are cutting down trees, those trees will eventually grow back. We did just build where our park's gonna go. Buses unlocked. So with buses unlocked, we should unlock steelworks. We need warehouses though, which I think we unlocked the grain silo, the modern grain silo, which 6 logistics in the area. We need to be careful because I think that we might destroy this. So what I'm going to do is put in its logistics. Can't really destroy the road though, because that would destroy this being within road tiles. It's got 14. Okay, so we should be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have modern grain silo, which is an upgrade. It produces 400 food, stores 400 food. These are definitely starting to get into mid-tier items, but it is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. And they're not a huge upgrade, given that you do destroy food to get these, but they unlock some of the better food building products. So you just kind of have to keep that in mind, that these are more for getting better things later. Okay. And as you can see, we're just unlocking more and more stuff. Need more iron. This does start to be where iron and stuff will just kind of take off. You'll just need so very much of it. We destroyed one of our farmhouses. That's so cool. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. So we actually did go in the negative on food there for a second. Okay. Okay, these are desert tiles. How far? 6 or more logistics, so it has to be within this. So we should be able to put in these desert tiles. Now, granted, I don't think the logistics will all go here because they have to be a distance to the road. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Cool. So that is good. Now, we can get another one in. We'll have to get another farmhouse in. But I think I'm going to switch over to going to focus on docks. Unfortunately, for us, this dock isn't going to produce any food right now. Ooh, it is. Usually it won't let us produce when we are negative in food because it won't let us build, like it won't let the houses build when there's a negative on food. But I guess, for some unknown reason, it's down to clown right now. That's very surprising that it did any of them. It didn't do enough, but it did some, which is surprising at all. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going all the way out. Which is cool with us. We fill it up. Then we have positive on food. Then we're just going to go down and do fissures. Those fissures should actually be built in. Yep. We went positive in the food one way or the other. Pretty fast. And pretty heartily. Okay, so heavy coal plant, 8 or more logistics in the area, but we don't have the population to do it anyhow. So we're just gonna whack in another coal plant and call it a day. Which works out, but we went negative in the coal. So more coal, more life. More power. More coal houses. Alright, so yeah, we're focusing on fishing now for food. Which is great because it unlocks fishing market. And fish market is a nice little market that you can put in that does supply food to your local houses and isn't the mini mart or anything like that, and it's a little bit more self-sufficient. And now we can go back to putting in our nice little parks. Which I think we already have it. Yep, we have our parks in there. I feel like we missed a park someplace. But we still need more sports, and we need the sports. We need the steelworks, which we will be putting in over here, probably right down here someplace. Honestly, probably put it in right here next to the coal plants. So it needs logistics, right? It needs 8 logistics. So we're just gonna pop in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do know that we're getting into kind of the area that we don't really want to, but there we go. Heavy iron mine unlocked. But now we need the multi-sports court, which we want one of those there, and we're also going to put one there. And then we have our sports satisfied. We need one more multi-sports court. We don't have enough people. How far out does our school go? Where's our school? So I think we might have forgot about doing school. Yes, we are past where our school can go. So this school's right here, right in the middle. We'll do the school right there. And granted, this school's providing like education for 3 people, but still. And down here need some parks. We do need to go to like suburb houses. Or wealthy suburb houses even. So these are wealthy suburb houses. Food services. I feel like the park should be taking care of it, but I guess I am a know-nothing. Markets in football pitches. Activate. That's a football pitch right there. We are in the negative by food by a lot. We are going to put in... See, that's the thing about, like, the docks that does suck is you need to kind of put them in early, because if you put them in like right when you need them, you really can't, because it doesn't count. I guess it is counting now. I think maybe they patched it, I guess, because before the houses wouldn't build, right? So before it was like the house won't build if there wasn't food in the neighborhood, like there wasn't any food. So before it was like you could build a dock, but the dock wouldn't do anything for you if you were out of food. We do have houses being abandoned because of lack of food already. That was a quick one. Usually it takes a little bit. Cool. We're just gonna count that as good. Alright, so now we have parking lots bringing up. Parking lots are the bane of our existence. And we usually know that they're going to happen. So our goal with parking lots, and this is what I count as the end of the beginning tier, is once we get parking lots. Fighting on parking lots is definitely mid-tier. So I'm going to call this. Once you get parking lots, you know you're going into mid-game. So that is the beginning of Urbek. Trying to do the Path of Leisure. Once you get parking lots, you know you've successfully gotten past the beginning stages, because doing parking lots is as mid-game as you get. So thanks for watching, guys. I am missing. I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed following along with me in doing this, or just enjoy Urbek at all, you know, do the likesies. And I hope that this is a better version of the tutorial that I did last time. And we'll do the mid-tier probably tomorrow, since I'm going to focus on more on one game at a time instead of doing like the multiple game things that I was doing before. Hopefully tomorrow we will have the mid-tier of the Path of Leisure, and then the end game. And I'm going to try to keep everyone to about an hour. Granted, that's kind of hard with Urbek, because, you know, this is basically a whole game I'm trying to fit into an hour episode tutorial. But there's a lot of things to Urbek besides just like this. This isn't just the thing. But anyhow, much love, guys. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like hit buttons. Bye.